Oh, hello internet, your old beard buddy Jed Whitaker here with a quick video about Castlevania Grimoire of Souls. You may have seen the Tokyo Game Show trailer come out today. Some people don't know, it seems like most people don't know, that there was a beta of this game last year in May that you could sign up for and play on if you had a Japanese iOS account, which I just made one and signed up and I got in. What you're watching behind me is the intro from that beta that shows a little bit, and then we're gonna skim through some footage that I took last year on this was the iPhone X I was running this on. And also I don't have the raw video footage of this, so it is gonna be a little bit grainy, especially since we're blowing it up from old Twitter videos I posted. And if you want to see this footage like raw and uncut on the you can check it out on my Twitter, which I'll link below. But this is the intro here. You're playing as Alucard, and it's just showing you kind of how to play. You got a joystick on the left, you got an attack button on the right. Really, I think you can just tap anywhere. You don't have to hit the button, or maybe the button is jump. Yeah, the button's jump. And as you can see, pretty simple to begin with. We're gonna skim here a little bit. It starts out really linear levels, like flat levels that you kind of just go between, and the levels are pretty quick. And again, this is like over a year old, so things could have heavily changed. At the end of levels, it looks like you get XP, you level your characters, and then it looks like maybe an account. And then, of course, a bunch of rewards for completing things, which are like consumables. I don't read Japanese, so I can only understand this as good as I can like take in what I played and, you know, what I'm visually being told, I suppose. So none of this means anything to me. Maybe you can stop it and translate it if you can read kanji or whatever that's called. But I'm gonna skim this a little bit here, kind of an informal impressions video just to show people. So there is a story mode that's coming out in this. You see a little bit of it here. Which appears Alucard talking to, I don't know, some kind of vampire shadowy figure. There's an opening scroll, which I'm not going to show the whole thing at, you know, slow speed here. But you can see that on my Twitter if you want to see it. A lot of music in this. I don't know if the music's brand new. I'm sure some Castlevania aficionados can listen to it and be like, yes, this is a new mix, or no, this is like from Symphony of the Night or whatever. There is a lot of like cutscenes like this where it's story. And you can see I'm just like mashing the screen to get through it. You can see back here is like the area that you kind of go in between levels. There is an in-game currency kind of thing. You see the lightning bolt that you have to spend to play a level. Again, in the beta, final version may be completely different. But I believe you earn that by like over time. So if you want to continuously play, it's probably going to be a microtransaction. I don't think the beta actually had access to any microtransactions, so as is tradition, you won't know until it's like fully out. This is just showing you some like different things that you can do as far as attack wise. You can see at the top here, got some different abilities. I'm trying to figure them out in this gameplay and it's not working out so great. Gonna skim here a little bit and give some impressions. Yes, that's right, Belmont is in this. You can switch characters, you can play as like a bunch of different characters. They showed that in the new trailer today. So this is some Belmont gameplay. The character and the movements in this is kind of slow. The animations aren't my favorite, but they're not terrible. And they're kind of like pseudo 3D, pseudo 2D looking characters. Very weighty. The movement reminds me more of like Castlevania 1 than it does of like Symphony of the Night or anything like that. Which can be a plus or a minus. Like I like the old Castlevania games quite a lot. Levels, again, fairly short. These early levels is just like fighting a lot of skeletons. You do have a big range on this whip. I think the graphics have changed too. From what I was looking at in the video today, it looks like the graphics have gotten a little bit better, art style a little bit cleaner than this kind of like muted, almost PS1 graphics. But it's hard to say based on these like low res videos I've pulled off of my Twitter to talk about. See, that was pretty much the whole level, but again, these are intro levels. Here's the thing I wanted to show. So, you use your earnable things here to basically do a gacha kind of loot boxy thing that gives you like, it looks like weapons and like equipable armor buffs, you know, that's things that change your stats. And you can see the star rating, so it definitely feels very gacha style, which is not something I personally am looking forward to doing in a Castlevania game. Like, Castlevania to me was always fun to go and like find the upgrades or find the weapons, or, you know, in obviously the old ones you just kind of had your weapons and you could get the abilities as you go when they would drop, and then the more Castlevania, Metroidvania style ones, you find weapons along the way and can equip them and change them as you see fit, which I can see how you could see that and think, yes, gacha style would work for that from a business perspective, but as a gameplay perspective, it doesn't feel great to have to rely on essentially like a slot machine to be able to potentially get the weapon you need to be able to do a level, or to be strong enough to do the level. You can see here it's showing a menu with some different skills. You can like equip different skills for different characters, level them from these menus, pick what's equipped. There's also co-op in this, which is kind of cool. It's online co-op. I believe this one, the first time they show you co-op, I think it's this, and I'm fairly certain that the other person is just a CPU the first time. There was other missions that I played where you could tell it was like someone else just by the way that they played the game. Now I've leveled Belmont in this one, he's pretty strong. I can see there that the other player was just like walking into the wall and then teleported to me, so I don't know what that was. There are some boss fights in this. See that guy just went instantly got wrecked. What made me think this is just a CPU thing showing you how to play with two players. It pops up and tells you something there about the other player. I don't know if this guy got glitched or what. He's not moving. And the CPU player came back. I mean, it has potential to go either way. What they showed today showed like bigger levels, less linear, more like jumping up and down instead of just going, you know, side to side kind of. So it has potential, and Konami's been on like this redemption arc for a while. Like, people say that they started with like Super Bomberman R on the Switch, which they've supported and released a bunch of free DLC from. So it could go either way. I mean, we'll have to wait and see if it comes out. I don't even think it's announced for the West yet, but it's something for sure. But that was just like to show off a bit of, you know, the gameplay that I've already played, since people haven't really seen or heard much about it since they announced the beta a long time ago. It seems like it kind of flew under the radar. Hopefully this also means that they're considering bringing out like console versions, or like more than just iOS and Android, which is what it's announced for so far. I love Castlevania, and I would love to see Konami like start to take games more seriously again and bring back their old IPs, including like some of the Hudson games that they own, I believe, like Adventure Island and do they still own Taito? I don't think they own Taito. I always mix them up. Taito and Hudson Soft are like two of my like favorite old publishers. I think Taito's still around because they announced the new Bubble Ball, so it must not be Konami. Anyways, that was a look at that Castlevania Grimoire of Souls. I'll link down below, and you can see all the raw footage that I have of that game, and check it out. And see you around. Bye. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the fucking bell, or else. Thanks.